where today's show is dedicated to one of the greatest boy bands of all time. Yes, the boys are in town, it's Westlife! Calm down, ladies and gentlemen. But first, as we mentioned earlier, I'm a Celebrity's back, and apparently jungle warfare has already broken out because of the stars' sleeping habits, but they're causing a bit of a stink. The barrage of snoring, sleep-talking and passing wind is keeping everyone awake. Freddie Starr and Chrissy Rock are among the culprits, but it's Mark Wright who is causing the most problems, with the others having to block their ears as his snores echo around the camp. A show insider said yesterday his snoring is so bad it's a mystery. He's persuaded so many girls to sleep with him. I don't think they did a lot of sleeping. So do you think it's possible to be attracted to a man who's, shall we call it, an unattractive sleeper?
I think, yeah, Steve does a little bit of snoring, but he doesn't snore when he's actually asleep. It's just when he's getting to sleep, so I just sort of cross my fingers and hope it doesn't last too long, and then it's fine.
Just a little bit of...
Just a bit of... and I go, and he turns over and goes, oh, no, and that's it. And I get over it, you know. It's heightened a bit with the babies, you know, you're like, shut up. But it's all right. But one of my best friends went out with a lad once for a long time, actually, and I stayed over a couple of nights once, and the first time I stayed over, I'm not joking, he snored that much, it ricocheted, I mean, like a pneumatic drill, round the house. And I was like, what's that? What's that? And she went, I'm snoring. I went, is this every night? And I've never had that. I mean, it was...
It's like my house.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, my
yeah. Not me snoring. No, it's Steve, not me. No, that's what he's like. Literally, it feels like the walls are going... Yeah, that's what it's like. And out. He's had people move hotel rooms and complain about the noise.
Oh, Andrew, how do you do it?
And we went away last weekend, and we all went, you know, did a kids thing. And the kids were going mad. I can't sleep! Because of the noise. We were all squashed in one bed.
Didn't Finley go, how can you sleep with that man? Like you've never met him before.
That's it. Well, Finley got a bit tearful, and Amy was like that. Daddy! Well, you be quiet. So, yeah, we've just how it is in our house.
I snore only when I'm a little bit drunk.
We all do that.
Which isn't every night, believe it or not. But I went out last week, Mark couldn't make it, and I came home and I thought, where is he? And he'd already gone to sleep in the other room, in the spare room, because he knows I'm going to be snoring. And one night in the morning, I got up, I woke up and I thought, where's he gone now? Because he gets up in the middle of the night. A, if I'm snoring because I'm drunk, or if he's got the blow-offs, he'll go and sleep in the other room, because that's just a no-no in our house. There's absolutely no way, no one ever blows off in bed. I think it's a proper deal-breaker. I think it was something that could cause terrible problems, so he disappears into the other room. But he said the one time that I was snoring so loud, he couldn't even get to sleep in the other room, and he had to go upstairs to the living room with earplugs and put a cushion over his head because he couldn't sleep.
Well, with me, as you know, it's me that is the terrible snorer. I mean, you know, it's just so awful on a train because I'm constantly doing that. And then coming down there on a businessman's shoulder. Like that. And then Tim, the other week we were at this do in Durham, and honestly, it ruins his night if he goes, how many hotel rooms have we got? And I went, we've only got one that's not left. Oh, I'm not going to enjoy that, I'm going to do that. So anyway, earplugs, whatever. Anyway, woke up the next morning, he'd gone. And he had apparently, well, he'd driven home to my sister's house in Stocksfield, about 45 minutes, couldn't handle it. And then he showed me this video, and the video was me. And his hand comes in like this. Together, I'm like that, right? Then you've got him, who snores when he's drunk, but if he's not, he's sort of a bit like Steve's type of snorer. But he's the world's worst talker. So you've got me going, you've got him going, Hoey Pip, whistling for the dog. Hoey Pip! And then you've got Louis next door, who, because he had Hirschsprung disease, got the worst wind in the world, going, It's like orchestral manoeuvres in the dark. Hoey Pip!
Oh, my Lord! No. Listen up for all the details.
Oh, go on, sorry.
So attractive. Yeah, anytime you like.
Sorry.
Now, Today's show is dedicated to one of the most successful boy bands of all time. It was over 14 years ago they first got together, managed by none other than Louis Walsh. Now, after 44 million albums sold worldwide, 14 UK #1 singles, 7 #1 albums, 10 sellout tours and a performance for the Pope, they have dramatically decided to call it a day. Luckily, it's not before they treat us to an album that celebrates their greatest hits. Telling us what it feels like to be walking away from it all and reflecting on their successes, it's Shane and Nikki from Westlife. We don't get that. What are they seeing you? Honestly.
I don't know.
So how does it feel to be walking away from all that?
It feels quite weird at the moment, to be honest, because for us, we've known about it for obviously a good few months. We made the decision kind of 3 or 4 months ago, but it does feel weird, you know, because everything we do now is the last time we do something as a band. Like last time we do Loose Women as a band, and you know, every different thing.
No, we're back tomorrow.
Back tomorrow. But,
How did it all come about, though? What sparked it? What started it?
I think it was just, it's inevitable after 14 years, you know. It's something that, you know, we've been doing it, you know, daily for 14 years. And I think it's one of those things where you just kind of look yourself in the mirror one time and speak to the lads and say, look, it's probably best to move on. We'd come to the end of a contract that we'd renegotiated during the 14 years lots of times. And Sony really wanted to you know, do a new deal again, but it was one of those things where we said, no, we couldn't give the commitment to it, all of us. So.
I think you've done it in such an amazing way. I mean, we recently saw Steps and how horrible it was their split up, and it took them 10 years to get over it. But I've just seen you that you're all still proper mates, aren't you?
That's
you've done it properly.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. You know, our friendship is 100% intact, which is great. And it's I think it's more about just moving on with our lives and seeing what else is out there. I think we all want to do different things, and it's very hard to do that and do Westlife, and you have to be 100% committed to Westlife.
Sure. What's been, because I remember years ago when that first ever split up, that there was kind of take that fan helplines and things. I mean, what's been the sort of initial reaction from the fans? We've spoken to a few of them earlier in here. What's been the reaction?
Well, it's been devastated. Like, on Twitter and stuff like that for all of us, it's been really overwhelming and stuff, you know. But it's a different thing from when Take That did it, you know. Our fan base wouldn't be as young because we're gone 14 years. It would have been young at one point, but not now. So fans, I think, you know,
We've got a helpline at the end for people who want
They all need a help.
I think we're the ones that need the helplines.
Now, we mentioned, of course, your greatest hits album. What sort of songs can people expect on there?
Well, it's got obviously the 14 #1s. Luckily, I suppose we've got such a collage of #1s and hits like that. It's actually spread out over 2 albums. It was very hard to pick which one to go on which, but it's all the hits we've had over the years. We've had like 28 singles, I think, released.
And have you kept Brian McFadden's voice on them?
We have, yeah. It's the exact same way they were made, yeah. There's some live versions on there as well of tracks that we've done over the years, and they're like different. We've done different vocal arrangements for them and stuff like that.
And was
so
that
it's
a
bit
conscious
extra.
decision? Did you think, no, this is how the fans first heard the record, we're going to keep it that way? Or?
I think I think it was exactly that reason. I think, you know, they bought the single that way when Brian was in the band, and he was part of our band for 6 years, you know, so... You know, we have to, I suppose, you know, honour that as well.
And you're all still really young now, so how old are you when you started?
We started when we were 8. I'm 22 now, you know, so it's mad, you know.
So how old were you when you had your first... You were 8 when you had your first...
Yeah, we were 18 when we started.
Wow.
17, 18 when we started,
And your first #1 was, what was it?
Swear It Again, yeah, #1.
Oh, wow.
13 years ago.
How's Louis? What did he have to say?
He was still not talking to us. He's devastated.
devastated.
He is genuinely devastated, yeah.
I think we've,
Did
you know,
he
we got
put
a
you
good
together
relationship.
at the beginning, Louis?
No, the boys, Shane, Mark and Keane, are from the west coast of Ireland, and they were in school together and put the band together originally.
Right.
Took it to Louis and got rid of a few lads and brought myself and Brian in through auditions in Dublin. But yeah, Louis devastated, you know. I think for him, you know, we kind of...
It's not going well, is it?
He's having a bad
Have
week.
you spoken to him since Kitty's left? Have you texted him or anything?
He's not speaking to him.
No, he is speaking to us. But for about 3 or 4 weeks, he actually didn't talk to any of us because he was talking. And I was like, what's wrong with it? And he's like, I thought you changed your mind. I thought you did have a bad week. But no, it's funny.
In front of some amazing people. I mean, I mentioned, of course, you performed in front of the Pope. Who would you see as your most incredible person that you've performed in front of?
I think the Loose Women girls, isn't it?
You wasn't good. That wasn't good. Now, really?
Not really.
Probably the Pope. We performed for the Queen as well, which is really nice. She came to Ireland for the visit there, the big historic visit. We performed for her, so that was pretty cool as well.
But over the years, when we've done some amazing things, like, you know, met Barack Obama on a couple of occasions. And
twice in 1 year, actually, which is weird. We never met any other president before, yeah.
He's a bit of a fan then, any secret.
Oh, big time, yeah. Booking us out for private gigs and everything. Over the White House.
Now, I have to ask, you both seem pretty laid back, but are any of you bossy?
Bossy?
Yeah.
Who's the bossiest, do you think, of the both?
Out of us two? Out of all of us?
Out of all of you?
Probably Keen or
Keane
Mark.
would be.
Probably Keen or Mark is not here. Like. They're watching backstage. Probably Keen, yeah.
Well, what about in your marriages? Did you have like a one? Is your wife's bossy or you?
I'm not the boss. Put it that way.
You're a smart man.
Got it. Good answer, love.
Okay, it's time for a break now, but don't worry, we are going to be back in 3 when Shane and Nikki will be joined by Keane and Mark, and the boys are going to be singing the global hit Flying Without Wings.